Welcome to yet another edition of Trends with LJE, where we bring you the latest and developing stories across Nigeria and Africa. I am John Nkamian. Now, do well to be part of our growing online community by hitting the follow, like, and share button right now on all platforms at LJE Nigeria. Joining me to dissect today's trending stories is Esther Ekwere. Esther, it's great to have you on this edition of Trends.
Thank you for having me.
Right, let's quickly run through our headlines for this edition of Trends. Federal government warns Ponmo consumption threatens 5 billion naira leather industry. Delegates arrive in Ibadan amid conflicting court rulings over the PDP National Convention. Political and celebrity skirmishes dominate public discourse as Amechi and Sani engage in heated public exchange. INEC warns democracy is failing due to constitutional breaches and executive overreach. And of course, celebrity drama as Regina Daniels, Annie Idibia, and react ahead of the rehab exposure. Now, without much ado, we go straight to our lead story, where the federal government has issued a sharp warning stating that the continued widespread consumption of Ponmo, the popularly delicacy made from cowhide, poses an existential threat to Nigeria's vital leather industry. Speaking at the national campaign against the consumption of Ponmo in Abuja on Thursday, November 13, 2025, Professor Nyalugo, the Director General of the Raw Materials Research and Development Council, described the practice as a severe industry and economic setback. The DG emphasized that the persistent diversion of raw hide and skin for consumption deprives local tanneries of essential raw materials, thus undermining the nation's global competitiveness in the lucrative sector. The government highlighted the significant economic potential currently being jeopardized. Nigeria's leather goods market is currently valued at $2.79 billion US dollars, with projections indicating growth to nearly $4.96 billion by 2033. Professor Ikemosu stressed that cowhide are among the country's most valuable raw materials, possessing enormous potential for job creation and foreign exchange earnings. While the campaign acknowledges the cultural significance of Ponmo, the primary mandate is to redirect this key resource into industrial production and benefits the national economy on a large scale. The RMRDC also raised grave public health and safety concerns extending beyond economics. Professor Ikomosu noted that Ponmo offers negligible nutritional value, composed primarily of collagen without substantial protein or micronutrients. More crucial and critical, he warned that many hinds processed for consumption are illegally treated with harmful non-food grade chemicals such as formalin and diesel. Exposure to these substances carries severe risk, including organ damage and an increased likelihood of cancer, establishing the practice as a double loss, eroding industrial potential while posing a serious threat to public health. The issue underscores a critical policy change, balancing cultural heritage with the imperatives of industrial growth. Past efforts to regulate hind diversion have faced strong resistance from market traders and consumers who view the campaign as infringing on tradition. Government officials and experts now stress the urgent need for a balanced approach, focusing on public education regarding health risk and economic benefits. Suggested strategies include reserving a portion of hind for industrial use, improving preservation techniques, and regulating dangerous processing practice to protect both the consumer and the nation's industrial future. Now, Esther, let me start by asking, do you eat Ponmo?
Of course, yes, I'm a Nigerian.
So how do you feel with this position that the more we consume Ponmo, we are in a way denying the country of its economic benefits as leather.
We should just stop eating it because I have always known that Ponmo does not have any nutritional value. It's just sweet. It's good to put in your stew and soup and all that, but we should stop eating it. And maybe they should find a way to stop,
Substitute.
yes, to stop it from entering the market. Because now they are saying it's going to create job opportunities. Instead of eating it, let us may use it in the other industry. So I think they should find a way to stop it from going into the market for consumption and all that.
Well, they are talking about a balanced approach, having some for consumption, but maybe the larger quantity going into industrialization.
But I'm seeing them saying that it has health risk.
Yes.
So if it does, then we are not supposed to eat
processing
it.
of the Ponmo. That is where the health risk is, because some preservatives are used, which
Yes.
end up causing harmful effects to the human body.
Okay, if it has health risks in the preservation of it and processing of it, then they should find a balance. They should just find a balance in how we consume it and how we preserve it specifically, and how it is being processed. And also, since it's for a greater good and a greater cause, then I think I'm in support of this.
All right, away from the more debate to some politics, where the People's Democratic Party (PDP) delegates have begun arriving in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, ahead of the national convention scheduled to begin this weekend. Even as the party remains paralyzed by conflicting court rulings and internal resistance. Now, despite escalating crisis and calls for the event's cancellation, the Umar Damagun-led National Working Committee, NWC, insists the convention will proceed. Deputy Governor of Oyo State, Engineer Bayo Lawal, who chairs the venue subcommittee, confirmed the Lagos Salami Stadium is ready, reflecting majority bloc determination to push forward. Now, the legitimacy of the event remains deeply polarized by contradictory judicial pronouncements. Multiple orders from the Federal High Court in Abuja have restrained the party and INEC from proceeding, citing procedural failures and a challenge by national chairmanship aspirant Sule Lamido. However, the Damago fraction is relying on a counter ruling from the Oyo State High Court in Ibadan, which allows the convention to proceed. The dispute over which court orders is operative is deepening fractional lines and fueling arguments over the legitimacy and legality of the entire process. Amid this legal quagmire, a powerful opposition bloc is calling for an immediate suspension and the formation of a caretaker committee. Influential leaders, including former Senate President Bukola Saraki and former Governor Nyesom Wike, argue that proceeding under such controversial circumstances risk invalidating the convention's outcome, which would plunge the party into deeper turmoil. Saraki, in particular, has emerged as a strong voice for internal dialogue over court battles, arguing that a temporary caretaker structure is the most stabilizing and legal defensively path forward. Now, despite the Board of Trustees (BOT) led by Senator Adolphus Nwabara and other senior leaders insisting the convention will go ahead, the Wike-backed fraction maintains a firm opposition, describing the Ibadan gathering as an illegal jamboree. The crisis is set against a fast approaching deadline as the current NWC's tenure expires on December 10th. Party members warn that the ongoing internal conflict jeopardizes the PDP's ability to present a strong and united front for the 2027 general elections. And still staying with political-related matters, a sharp public exchange has erupted between two prominent Nigerian political figures, former senator and activist Shehu Sanidi and former transport minister Rotimi Amechi. The confrontation follows comments each man made at separate public events this week, quickly escalating into personal sparring. Now, Amechi publicly accused Sani of insulting him at the National Electoral Reform Summit and vowed to respond in kind if provoked again, underscoring the rising personal and political tension among prominent political figures. The confrontation is characterized by mutual personal accusations and threats of public exposure from both sides. This public friction underscores the intense debate among prominent figures regarding President Bola Tinubu's administration and the country's current political trajectory. Observers warn that the exchange holds the potential to escalate into a wider public spectacle which could dominate political news circles for weeks to come. Now, Esther, let me ask you, how do you react to the fact that two political prominent figures in the persons of Rotimi Amechi and Shehu Sani, especially I know for most Nigerians, there might be that resentment for a Shehu Sani who got into politics as a human rights activist and now seem to be dancing the political drumbeat. How do you react to this clash of interest by Amechi and Shehu Sani?
Well, there's always an underlying thing when it comes to politicians and their fight. There's so much that even the public we are not even aware of. And based on their own personal interests, they come out and they start exchanging words. They don't even think of the fact that Nigerians are looking up to them for so many things, and they come out as politicians fighting for what God knows.
Basically, power,
yes.
political
yes,
power,
exactly.
political dominance.
Yes, exactly. So they are always fighting for their own interests. That's what I see it as. Majorly for their own interest. Majorly for what is going to benefit them, not necessarily what will benefit us as Nigerians. We are really used to this political fights here and there everywhere in the country.
Well, we need to take a quick break. When we return, we'll bring you the story of how the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has warned that democracy is failing due to constitutional breaches and executive overreach. And also the celebrity drama that followed Regina Daniel and Idibia's reactions and the rehab report that continues to stir the drama. So stay with us and keep sharing the stream.
Welcome to LJE Studio, where creativity meets production excellence. Whether you're shooting a podcast, hosting a live stream, recording interviews, or bringing your next big idea to life, we've built the perfect space for you. Everything you need to create premium content is right here. Come record, come create, come be inspired. Visit www.ljenigeria.org/LJE-studio or call 0705-245-3714 to book your session today.
Thanks for staying with us. It's still Trends with LJE. And we move ahead with this development where the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has attributed the failure of democracy in Nigeria to the persistent abuse of the country's constitution, particularly by excessive precedents since 1999. Professor Sam Egu, resident electoral commissioner, REC, in Benue State, made the remarks yesterday at the National Conference on the Future of Democracy in Nigeria. The conference, with the theme Sustaining Democratic Growth Beyond the Poll for Effective Governance, was organized by the Peering Advocacy and Advancement Center in Africa and held in Abuja. Egu, a former Ebonyi State governor, criticized successive administrations for governing in breach of the constitution and constitutional provisions while pursuing liberal economic policies influenced by international financial institutions such as the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, IMF, often to the detriment of Nigerian citizens. And away from political and democratic discourse to more light-hearted issues where social media exploded this week following a high-profile celebrity drama involving actress Annie Idibia, who reacted to a post by Laila Charani, a wife of Ned Nwoko, that accused fellow actress Regina Daniels of alleged wrongdoing. Annie's like on the post instantly ignited a firestorm, with fans questioning her loyalty, given Regina Daniel had previously offered her support during a past marital issue. Annie later clarified that the like was a mistake, affirming her unwavering loyalty to Daniels. The drama was further complicated by the circulation of a controversial document allegedly originating from Serenity Royal Hospital and Abuja Mental Health and Rehabilitation Center. Now, the purported detox report claimed Regina Daniels tested positive for multiple substances and exhibited aggressive agitation during an alleged intervention at her husband's home in late September. The document claims quickly fueled intense speculation and debate online. In response, Serenity Royal Hospital publicly denounced the medical document via an official statement on its Instagram page, firmly branding the report as fake and malicious. The facility stressed its strictly adherence to medical ethics and patient confidentiality, confirming that it did not anchor or authorize the circulation of any such medical report relating to the actress. While the actress and her family have not issued a direct response to the overall controversy, the source and motive behind the initial fake leaked document, which sparked the subsequent online debate, remains subject of intense speculation amongst fans and media outlets. Now, Esther, I know that the Regina Daniel, the drama in her marriage, and all that has ensued, even the allegations of being on drugs and substances, has accumulated to this supposed fake medical report. How do you react to all of this?
Honestly, this is just like a reality TV show. Like, we have been watching Ned Woko and Regina Daniel for the past how many weeks now. A lot has been going on. This rehab stuff, Ned has been trying to push the narrative that Regina Daniel is taking drugs, but she keeps debunking it. Now, we even had to go to the extent of bringing a fake medical report, which I know, of course, no hospital will release their patient medical report to you. Is not possible. So that was a very would I say childish act from Ned doing such a thing. And I actually like the fact that the hospital responded immediately and they debunked that. So I think Ned should find a way to go behind the camera and the social media and
resolve the issues of his marriage,
because it's just becoming so messy right now. So many things spilling here and there.
All right, that's all the time we have for this edition of Trends. My sincere thanks to Esther Ekwere for making our time to be with us on this edition of the show. And of course, don't forget to follow, like, share at LJE Nigeria on all social media platforms to join the conversation and get updates on our next show. I am John Nkamiang. Bye for now.